How's it going, YouTube? So today I'm going to do a 5 things I love and 5 things I hate about my SRT4. And I'm going to go ahead and throw a disclaimer out there because I really couldn't sit and think about 5 things I hated. 2 of them are specific to every SRT4. The other 2 are specific to my car only. So I just want to throw that out there. But as far as the 5 things I love, that will apply to every SRT4. And if you are looking at SRT4s in general, then you can kind of rationalize with this video. But I'll go ahead and start. And we'll start with the things I hate. And number 1, and this applies to every SRT4, would have to be the turning radius of this car. It's like driving a school bus. I've never curbed a wheel before, and I haven't yet, and I hope not with these brand new wheels. But I could definitely see it being a possibility going through a drive-thru with this car because you have to swing this car out wide. It's honestly like driving a big rig with a trailer attached, or a school bus, or I'm not exaggerating. It's horrible. You can look it up. It's a common complaint with these cars. You can fix it with a PT Cruiser GT steering knuckles, but I'm just going to live and deal with it for now. Number 2 would definitely have to be this guy right here. A 30/20 boost gauge that is inaccurate, and as you can see, it doesn't even sit on 0. It's garbage. It rattles. It does match the flow of the car, I will give it that. It does match the stock gauges, except at nighttime when these are backlit like a electric blue, greenish kind of color. This thing is backlit yellow. It just looks awful. It looks aftermarket with the lights on. As far as lights off as it is right now, it looks good. But yeah, that right there, that's getting replaced soon with a proper 30/30 boost gauge, and I'm gonna have a wideband right here placed beside it. So I think all factory turbo cars need widebands. You just need a way to check your air fuel ratio. That's like a must, especially when you start tuning cars. Number 3 is, like I said, this one's specific to my car, and I think the cracked dash and my solid motor mounts have a lot to do with it. But this car rattles. The interior, this plastic, I think it's all generalized with this console right here. I don't know if it's because my booger bushings, the solid motor mounts, cracked dash. It's probably a combination of all 3. But the rattling right here drives me nuts. I can't stand it. The mirror used to rattle, and it was that plastic shielding around the wiring, which I zip tied them tight enough where it's real tight, it doesn't rattle. And that pillar right there rattled, but I fixed that. I've had this console apart. I've insulated the inside of it, and it still didn't help. I don't know what the rattle is or what's causing it. I've tried to narrow it down, I just can't find it. And I'm still going to keep tackling it until it's gone because it drives me nuts. But yeah, that rattle, oh man, it's horrible. But again, it's more likely specific to my car only. It doesn't apply to all SRT4s. And number 4, again, this is specific to my car only, and that would have to be the Raceland coilovers. I bought the car with them, and they're the base red ones too, so they're like the worst coilovers you can possibly buy for this car. You can't adjust the camber. I had to buy plus 25 offset wheels just so they would clear my coilovers, and they barely clear. I've had to raise the car up too because, again, you can't camber it, and all you do is rub. So I wanted to get the car a little bit lower, but this is the stance right now I have with it, which it's even all the way around. I think it looks pretty good for the most part, but later down the road, I'm probably going to replace them with the Musa coilovers with adjustable camber plates. I mean, honestly, I'd like to go BC coils, but that's a little out of my price range at the moment. And as far as the fifth thing I hate about this car, honestly, I have no clue. Actually, as a matter of fact, I do have a fifth thing I hate about this car, and it is generalized with every SRT4, and that's probably Chrysler's clear coat. It's cheap. I don't know what this is right here. It looks like someone just grabbed some sandpaper and sanded, the top of my car. But the thing is, it's not just a neon thing. It's also with like any Chrysler of this time frame. As a matter of fact, this PT Cruiser has the same thing going on. It's just a cheap Chrysler thing, which with the PT Cruiser as well, it only affects the roof of the car. Nothing else. I mean, the rest of the car is clean. It's just the roof, which I guess makes sense because that's probably where the sun hits the majority of the paint. But come on, that's some cheap clear coat. So now on to the 5 things I love about this car. And first and foremost, and obviously with every SRT4, it's the looks. I mean, just look at this thing. Of course, mine's got some mods on it, but stock, these cars I think look gorgeous. I really do. I mean, you take the lip off, you can take the plastic dip off my crosshairs, the SRT emblem, the eyelids, the car still looks great. The factory wheels, honestly, I like the factory wheels. And if mine weren't painted black, I would actually probably be running the polished look. But, I mean, of course, you have to keep the wing. I hate when people take the wings off personally because I think that's just a turbo 4-cylinder look. I mean, STIs, Evos, 3000 GTs, they all have that just signature wing. It's just well, not specific to 4-cylinder turbos, but just turbo import kind of DSM, in this case a domestic 4-cylinder turbocharged car. I don't know, I like it, and I want to leave mine just because it's too common to see a lot of people removing them, and I don't know, it just takes away from the SRT4 factor. Number 2 is the sound. These cars, they have a unique sound. They have a really good 4-cylinder sound to them. I wouldn't say it's up there with a Subaru. That's probably my all-time favorite 4-cylinder sound. You just can't beat that boxer rumble. This car, I guess it's probably unique in a way, in a sense that Dodge from the factory wanted the mufflers removed. They came with resonators only. And my car, it's catless. It has one resonator, has a MagnaFlow glass pack in the center. So mine's pretty loud. I have a dedicated exhaust video. I mean, it sounds good. These cars have a nice rumble, and when you're driving it, you downshift or upshift real hard. If you're kind of accelerating or getting into the gas, it crackles and pops. It's glorious. Just driving the car with the windows down, sunroof open, and listening to exhaust. It's just great. And number 3 would have to be the general idea that Dodge was pushing when this car came out, brand new. It reminded me a lot of the old school muscle car days in the 70s, and that's the affordability to performance ratio. This car was $20,000 brand new, and it made 230 horsepower, which turns out Dodge underrated these cars. That's actually the wheel horsepower rating, and it was cheap, very easy to mod. Anyone can get their hands on these cars. It was like a throwback to the old school Mopar, go fast for cheap days, and that's one thing I love about this car. And I think that's another reason these cars get a lot of hate, is because people look at them as cheap, and they were very easy to obtain. I mean, the wrong people got their hands on these cars and modded the piss out of them and gave all the other SRT4 owners that bought the cars and, you know, wasn't trying to rev up at everyone at a red light, just wanted to drive their car and enjoy it for what it was. It kind of put a bad taste in everyone's mouth, you know, but I think the respect is still out there. I mean, I've had my share of different cars, and this car right now, believe it or not, probably gets the most respect and the most compliments out of any car I've owned, and that's even on top of my Jeep. But I have to give it Dodge. I seen what their goal was when they made these cars, and they succeeded. And of course, with any cheap car and this kind of appeal, it's going to get some, you know, bad apples or bad owners getting their hands on them and kind of ruining the taste for everyone. But now, trying to find a clean one, a clean example, which is really hard now. It kind of brings the respect back, just seeing how someone can take care of a car like this, knowing the background and the abusive history these cars used to have. And it just kind of shows you that the owner had these cars, the clean cars beforehand, like the guy had mine, really took care of it, and you could tell he was a respectable SRT4 owner. He didn't mod the piss out of it. I mean, some people could say the things I've done to it are rosy, like the eyelids, the front lip, and the badge and all that stuff, but I like it. And, you know, of course, that's with anyone building their own car. It's for you. You're not building it to satisfy everyone else. It's your car, so do whatever you want, whatever floats your boat. If you like it, go for it. So, my number 4 favorite thing that I love about this car, yes, I know people hate these, but I love it. I love manual windows. I love everything manual. I wish there was an option to have manual front doors, because I mean, these things just, they don't go bad. I mean, this one's relatively easy to use. My Jeep's real stiff, but I think this is cool, and I think it was a smart way on Dodge's part to like cut weight, especially in the rear. And I think another reason, it's not specific to SRT4s, I believe it's all second gen Neons, is these doors are so slim. I don't think they could well, at the time, Dodge couldn't fit like a power regulator and stuff in here, which there's aftermarket kits that you could buy, but nah, I love this. This is awesome. Manual windows for the win. Make everything manual. And you have to save the best for last, of course. And my probably absolute favorite thing about this car is this engine. I don't know why it never got real popular like the Mitsubishi 4G63. Some people say this motor is not as good as those, and honestly, I think these motors are bulletproof. If you keep them stock and build them right for the horsepower goal you're shooting for, they'll last forever. They're factory with Molly pistons. I mean, that's badass. From the factory, Molly pistons. The sound, the reliability of mine has been great. This one doesn't burn, leak, smoke, or anything. Doesn't tick. It's smooth. The power delivery is great. With the turbo, there's no turbo lag. I don't know. I think the 2.4 engine, this is, I mean, it's a spectacular engine, and it doesn't really get the respect I think it deserved. Because, you know, of course, everything went with the Neon. It's all the Neon jokes, cheap car, cheap engine, but no, I think the 2.4, I think it's a gold mine. It has lots of potential. It's I mean, it's just straight up a really cool 4-cylinder, American 4-cylinder, I think. And that's probably my favorite, my absolute favorite thing. I wish I seen more unique swaps out there with this engine, like Baja buggies. You know how cool it'd be to see one with the SRT4 swap, or rear-wheel drive swap SRT4 and like a Plymouth Prowler or something like that. That would be awesome. But yeah, the engine, probably my absolute favorite thing about this car. So yeah, that's the 5 things I love and hate about my SRT4, my specific SRT4. So yeah, thanks for watching.